don't have any slides. I just want to talk a little bit about what I've been seeing about the future and my concerns about it. Attention has not been paid effectively to the collapse of species. Attention has not been paid effectively in video or in print or in the news for the climate collapses that we're seeing, the droughts that are happening in Oklahoma and Texas, the melting of the Antarctic parts and the Arctic parts. These are astounding changes that we have wrought. And I think as publishers, we have a responsibility to engage with those horrors because nobody wants to hear about it. Nobody likes to hear bad news. For the last 6 years, I've been doing a site with a buddy of mine where we take news stories about the monarch butterflies decaying because there are no longer any milkweeds, because they're being wiped out by Monsanto's glyphosate, and because we've been trying to turn the Midwest into one big field to harvest GMO corn. And we make a joke about that story. We try to make a quip that makes people laugh so that maybe people will listen. Nobody really wants to listen about the horrors that are going on. So where does that put us as publishers? It says to me that if you know something, it is your responsibility to express it. For the last 5 years, whenever I've had a public forum, I try to say some of these things because I feel like it's my responsibility, ethically, to talk about what I've been witnessing and what I've been seeing because I've been paying attention. Most of us in this room, I was seeing lots of nods when I was talking about species collapse, and lots of nods about climate change, and lots of nods. I mean, if I talk about the fact that we're breaching the biology of ecosystems, people are nodding. We know this. It is thus our responsibility to make sure that we are asking the questions of every project that we are involved in. Does this speak to these issues? Is it raising the awareness of these issues? Is it making us, is it fulfilling our responsibility as a publisher to make public the concerns of our culture and the things that really do matter? Because if we don't change the trajectory we're on, my grandchildren, I've got triplets and I've got another singlet. My grandchildren they would not recognize this ecosystem because it'll be so disrupted. All they'll have is high-def television recollections on the Discovery Channel. And that would be awful to not have my grandchildren be to tell their grandchildren that the world is an okay place to live in. This has to do with attention, but it also has to do with the responsibility that we have as publishers. So I don't want to belabor this point, but I also want to make sure that we consider the future in our actions. We consider the realities that we recognize as part of the motivation for what it is that we do in this in our jobs, and whether it's video or film or books or ebooks or blogs or any of these things, that we grapple with these realities and do our best to make sure that the world is aware of them.